This week we are still looking with our mental mapping lesson, but this time we are looking at picturing the world. Can you picture where North America is on our map, or Africa, or even Australia? How about can you describe, just by looking at this map, where someone might find Europe? Not so hard to do without the labels, is it? But if we know our map and have practiced our maps, we should be able to help somebody through describing the shape of things and where they're located at to help us figure out where we can find these things. For example, if I wanted to tell a second grader, for example, where we might find Australia, simply, if we look at our blank map, a lot of us know that Australia is on the southeast part of our map and is that island on the bottom right-hand quadrant area. How about the Pacific Ocean? If we show this map to a second grader, could we describe it and say it's that whole huge open area on the left side of the screen, kind of just above where the compass rose is? How about if we wanted to get even more tricky? How about if we ask, where could we find the Mediterranean Sea? How many of us would describe it? That it's the body of water just north of Africa, but south of Europe. It's important for us to know these locations and be able to describe them in our minds in order for us to communicate to others where these things are in the world. Another simple example that we could use that this map might help us with is, where's the Middle East? We've heard of Saudi Arabia and Iraq, Iran, and all these other Middle Eastern countries, but where are they on this map? Could we find them without finding the labels? Or would we have to describe it as kind of being to the left of India, to the top, and a little bit to the right of Africa? Being able to find things on a map, blank map, or even in using the map in our head, is again this idea of mental mapping. Remember, in the past we've talked about using relative and absolute locations. Well, absolute locations, if you recall, is simply using latitude and longitude lines to be able to find the location of an area or a particular place. This map is a great example of using relative location, being able to find one place relative to another place, looking for something that is next to something else that we already know but don't necessarily see. Another thing you need to know about these maps are the different waterways and oceans and continents, obviously, that are presented on here. Please check to make sure you understand the definition of the word sea, which is listed on our definitions list, so that you can correctly identify and understand what a sea is as compared to a lake, a river, or an ocean, or an estuary, or some other type of body of water. Other than that, please make sure that you are taking the time to review this map, both the blank one as well as the regular one, to help us better identify and learn about mental mapping and trying to draw that picture in our mind about where things are, even if we can't see them in front of us.